Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at FET AI. So one of those coins, I suppose, that I've traded since the bottom, more or less, of this run. Not to sort of, I suppose, blow my own trumpet or anything like that. It's part of my training that I've used on teaching the Ichimoku cloud how to go about using it. And if we continue to use it appropriately, we should allow for this trend to continue, and we'll get out when the cloud tells us to get out, or when the Chiku span tells us to get out. So in that respect, everything's looking really, really bullish on it still. So basically, in a nutshell, the signal was down here. We were dumped into it down here. The golden cross was formed, and then basically we've been long on this one all this time. From around about 5.5 cent is roughly where my purchase was so far, 746% as of this morning. Pretty good going, and I think there's plenty more to go. So if we look at the way that it behaved the last time we had one of these big moves, and again this was a big move, right? So it was nice and structured, and then it had a blow off top. We were in a consolidation phase still from when it came into existence. Back over here, it was an ICO. And this is how ICOs often behave, but it's turned the corner now, and it's basically gone. It's going bullish. So, as far as finding out where the price is going to go, it's about to go into price discovery mode. As you can see, we have made an all-time high over here, and it's very. I'm gonna have to zoom in a bit closer. This, as of today, is the biggest candle body, and these are the biggest candle body closes that FET's ever had. Let's look at the structure on this chart. It's actually, despite being so turbo bullish, there's not really been any incidences of it completely exploding and overreaching. It's been very, very consistent, and I would expect it to continue to be consistent. So if we have a look at the way it's respecting the 10 exponential, now it's respecting the 7 simple. This is what we'd expect before another big move, to be honest with you, another big move. So I would expect that the psychological figure of 50 cents will be resistance. Then once that resistance is taken out, we probably will look for a blow off top moment, and I may consider at that point taking some profit, although the Ichi Cloud will tell us when to get out of the trade. The trade will be we will be told basically by this Chiku span touching the price action that the trend has ended, but it will never tell us the top, so I can only try and guess the top, and I don't really like doing that. So on the daily, these indicators don't suggest any form of top forming here at all, nor does it on the weekly either, to be honest with you. It's all very bullish on all of these time frames. 4 hourly is not overextended on that at all. In fact, it really does look like it has plenty of room to move still, which is, I suppose, pretty exciting. You know, when you get in at something so low, obviously for me, every time this goes up by 5.5 cents, essentially my investment in this trade doubles. So it does get quite exciting when it gets to these high levels, because you know, if it was to get above 50 cents and then it starts doing 10% a day again, or even more, I mean, I will basically see my original investment double over and over and over and over again. Anyway, rather than talk about how much money is to be made, it's about balancing the risk. And at the moment, the risk to reward is still pretty high, as in, like, there's definitely a lot of reward and a lot less risk than you would think when you've been in a token for a trade that's basically 750% up at the moment. So we've got to look at Bitcoin just very briefly. So Bitcoin tried to do an all-time high last night, just didn't make it. Looks like perhaps maybe isn't going to make it, and wants to perhaps come down, maybe even as low as these figures down here. We have a very strong chance that we will pull back, but it's not the end of the world. Bitcoin is going to make an all-time high, in my opinion. We do have positive cross here, conversion baseline cross here, which would suggest the trend has begun again. Another uptrend has begun again. We got one back down here since this one ended. So this big massive bull run ended technically over here, but then began a new one over here. We got about a 54% move out of that one. So if we got this new trend begins here, I'm not saying we're going to get a 50% move. We could get a much bigger than that percent move, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. But I would expect that this to continue as an uptrend. So that's Bitcoin just in a nutshell. Could easily come down temporarily, and then it will launch again. And then this is the really exciting thing. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin on the weekly. We have an uptrend here where we basically find support more or less on these before we make the next big push up, and we've danced with that 2 weeks ago, touched the support. We came close to it the other day, and we look like we're heading down for it again today. This would be the opportunity, I suppose, to get back in on Ethereum or general altcoins, bullish altcoins in general. When we touched around levels of 30,500 sats, thereabouts, that would be an entry point. This again is a chart that needs to be traded on the back of a weekly, and this would be like perhaps maybe a low, a low for Ethereum on its sats. So if Ethereum starts to rally against Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance will also start to break down. And looking at this Bitcoin dominance chart, just zoom in a little bit here, we do have a bearish signal here, and also there is a death cross that's formed on the daily. In fact, the chart itself is pretty bearish. We are pushing up at the moment, but I would expect as soon as Ethereum starts to rally, then this will continue to break down. Breaking down below areas of 60% dominance will really have a dramatic impact on altcoins. They will rally, basically. They will rally. And the Dixie's pushing up a little bit today. No big deal. It is a bullish chart. Definitely is a bullish chart. I have to show you something which shouldn't concern you to a great deal, but it is worth noting. We do have conversion baseline cross on the Dixie, which would suggest the start of an uptrend, from around about these levels. Now, take that for what it's worth. An uptrend of the Dixie, it is likely to happen, but how aggressive could it possibly be? I'm targeting areas of around about 92.7, maybe 93.6, 93.3. Before rejections. Now remember, when the dollar increases in value, assets pegged to the dollar go down in value just by default because the dollar's worth more. I think most of you understand what I mean by that. But it doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen, especially with something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go up while the Dixie's pushing up, but it just makes it that a little bit harder for it to do it. But when the Dixie goes up, it does find rejections, and when rejections take place, then obviously everything starts to push and rally again. So I think that if we do start to push up these levels, Bitcoin may struggle and may come down to some of these entry points here around about 53, maybe 53,000. But these are moving indicators. These are exponential moving averages. So if this doesn't happen today, by the time this creeps up, by the weekend, we could easily be at areas of 55, and that would be our support zone. So it's not the end of the world for anything right now. In fact, it's very much the calm before the storm. We've got bullish setup here. We've got bullish setup on FET, bullish setup on Ethereum, bearish setup on the Bitcoin dominance, which is good. The only thing that goes against us is this bullish setup on the Dixie, which again is not the end of the world. There's only so far it can go given the quantitative easing, the money printing basically that's been going on with the Fed, and the money that will be basically handed out to American households. There's going to be a lot of stimulus and spending take place in America, and it's going to find its way into these markets. I know it will. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. I am doing a live stream tonight, but I have to say it might be a short one. I'll do it for as long as I can. My baby's she's growing giant teeth in the back of her mouth, and it's made her all hot and poorly and stuff, so I might need to tend to her instead. But if that is the case and I can't do the live stream, I will definitely make up for it, and I'll see if I can do it on Saturday or Sunday. But I'll try my best to do it tonight. It all very much depends on how well she is. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.